would tell us how Bell's father met with them. And we were like, you can't interfere with a grand jury investigation. You have to leave it alone. But for somehow, he kept meeting with the witnesses who we were trying to talk to. And when we finally talked to the witness, we found out that they don't talk to the Bell father. They said they were not threatened directly. They just felt that way. They felt as though, some say they always felt as though they were being followed. I remember interviewing a young lady who told us how Rick Bell would visit her job, or she would see him outside of her job. And they used to make her nervous. And I felt as though we were very close to getting enough information, whereas we can say he committed obstruction, an FBI agent committed obstruction of justice. The morning we did the raids, plenty of agencies were involved, and we went to a lot of different locations.
An FBI agent's home was raided last month in connection with the investigation into the death of a Valdosta teenager.
Karen Bell says her husband, Rick Bell, is an agent in good standing with the FBI, an arm of the U.S. Justice Department, but that the swarm of heavily armed men and a woman, most in full tactical gear, that rushed toward her house about 5:16 a.m. July 21st, came from an arm of the U.S. Justice Department, too, the U.S. Marshals Service.
This is where they knocked the morning of around 5 a.m.
I was laying in bed. I got a bang on my door.
Tactical gear?
Yes, sir, to the nth degree.
They were just like, it's about the Kendrick Johnson case, the ongoing Kendrick Johnson investigation.
In order for a judge to sign search warrants, mean for several locations, therefore, evidence was submitted that he believed we were onto something. So these search warrants, several, were signed.
Deputy U.S. Marshal serving search warrants in connection with the mysterious death of Kendrick Johnson at Lowndes High School in 2013.
I was just really shocked.
I broke down and cried.
I really had no reason in my head why they would be here.
It just keeps on getting worse.
Documents provided by the Bells legal team indicate property seized with the search warrant included smartphones, thumb drives, laptops, discs, and the like.
Deals with obstructing investigations, destroying evidence, witness tampering.
I'm going to ask my photographer to push in tight on your face.
Okay.
Our viewers can read your expression. Did you have anything to do with the death of Kendrick Johnson?
No. He was like one of my good friends.
Even at the time of his death?
Even at the time of his death.
And I want everybody to know the truth. And I mean, they can ridicule me and they can say whatever they want, but in the end, the truth will prevail. And everybody will find that me and my brother have been innocent and always will be innocent.
But both Bells maintain they have rock-solid alibis. Did you see Kendrick Johnson?
No, sir, not at any point during that day.
Where were you?
I was in class. First block, second block, third block, and fourth block.
Close to the gym?
No.
Did you see Kendrick that day?
No. I did not.
Have you prayed for the Johnsons?
Yes, sir. I have. I hope that they found justice, and I hope that they do find out the truth about their son.
And now, WJCL News, working for you.
New developments in the Kendrick Johnson death investigation. We have uncovered an email whose sender claims to know who killed Johnson.
And tonight I have been looking through these 22 pages that we requested that could possibly answer the question, what happened to Kendrick Johnson?
Some of the kids that know scared, but they should never be scared.
This week, WJCL learned U.S. Attorney Michael Moore subpoenaed more than 120 students and parents in Valdosta to testify in front of a grand jury. What happened to Kendrick last January is a question the family has been asking for more than a year now. And this week, that question may have an answer. WJCL learned deputies in Lowndes County received an anonymous email. Because those mentioned in the email are minors, their names have been changed to Jane and Joe. Here's what the email says. My best friend was at a party Saturday night with Jane, and she was upset about something that Joe had said to her. She said that about a little over a year ago, she had sexual intercourse with Kendrick Johnson while she was dating Joe. Joe found out and threatened KJ. KJ told Joe to meet him in the old gym at the third block, and he would have his knife ready. Joe and Joe's friend met KJ and killed him. Joe has also been heard admitting to killing KJ more than once over the phone. His brother also got drunk at a party on the 4th of July and told many people that Joe killed KJ and that Joe's brother was tired of keeping it a secret. And my sources told me one of the boys in the email is the son of an FBI agent. His father originally told him not to talk to investigators, but is now forced to talk because of the subpoena.
There's been several people that has come forth with the truth, but then you got them going to jail, being locked up, being silenced if you say anything, being threatened.
A supposed lead in the Kendrick Johnson investigation has fizzled.
We identified the source of the email yesterday. We went and interviewed that person last night, and what we found was they admitted they had sent the email, but they did it out of a genuine interest in the case. That this is information they had heard, nothing firsthand, all rumors and speculation.
And the other guy, he was telling people about what happened to Kendrick, and they found out and they got him in there and kept him for so many months. Nobody could get him out. And then when he got out, he recanted the whole story. He said he wasn't telling the truth.
When it comes to justice in this county, it's more about who you know. In this case, you have Lowndes County High School, the superintendent's office, the GBI, the FBI, and the DOJ.
The cover-up started with one of their own GBI agents and his children, and when they found out it was him, the cover-up started there, and then it trickled on down to the medical examiner, then on over to the funeral home. All that it was just all this just going on, and I'm like, but y'all will go through all this just to cover for these children. I think lots of people know, just covering it up. They work together.
But Stroud was the main one that we were talking to. And so he would just keep coming and give us like different little lies. And every time he would come back with a story, we would come back and tell him, that's not so.
Then in November 2015, the U.S. attorney in charge of this case, Michael Moore, suddenly resigned. This was astonishing because this was the attorney who put the Bell Boys as the target of the investigation.
Michael Moore, I don't know. I know he ran scared. Like, these people here scared him out of his job. I know that. Because how do you come out and say you're gonna take this case and look at it at every angle, but soon as it get hot, soon as you getting threats, you go run and take cover?
When Michael Moore resigned, his cases went to his successor, except Kendrick. For some reason, KJ's case was moved from Georgia to Ohio.
Going to Ohio with this case was like mind-boggling to me. There had to have been discussions in Washington as to how you're going to have a change of venue from one state to another state.
I think that your prosecutors are really the gatekeeper for the court system, for the justice system. And if you're not willing to keep the gate, then that means nothing.